Alright, let's dive into a really fascinating thought experiment. We're going to take our closest neighbor in space, that constant presence in our sky, and ask a pretty simple, but honestly terrifying question. What if the moon just vanished? For as long as humans have existed, and for billions of years before that, the moon has always been there. It's our constant companion, it pulls on our tides, it lights up our nights, and it acts as this incredible gravitational anchor keeping our planet nice and stable. It's just always there. A familiar, almost reassuring sight in the sky. But what if it wasn't? What if, in a single instant, with absolutely no warning, it just disappeared? I don't mean it exploded or drifted off course. I mean it was just gone. What would actually happen to Earth in the moments, the hours, and the years after that? So, to really get this, let's imagine you're just watching from space. You're seeing the Earth and the moon locked in that silent, gravitational dance they've been doing for billions of years. It's a perfect picture of celestial mechanics, everything working just as it should. And you can see this beautiful living world spinning below. You see storms swirling over the oceans, the lights from our cities glowing on the continents. Everything is exactly as it's supposed to be, just a serene, stable, totally breathtaking view of home. And then, in less than a second, poof, the moon is just not there anymore. The space where it used to be is now just empty blackness, and back on Earth, the consequences, well, they begin immediately. The very first thing to react to the moon's disappearance would be our oceans. See, the moon's gravity is the main reason we have tides. It literally holds these massive bulges of water in place on either side of the planet. So, with that force suddenly gone, all that water is instantly let go, and we are not talking about your average tsunami here. This is a truly global event. Those immense bulges of ocean water, no longer being pulled on by the moon, would just collapse and surge across the entire planet. We're talking about unimaginable, world-spanning tidal waves. That would just swallow coastlines everywhere. And think about this for a second, 71% of our planet's surface is water, with the moon gone. That is a colossal amount of energy just suddenly unleashed, literally reshaping every single coastline on Earth in a matter of hours. But the water, that's only the beginning of the chaos. Okay, so beyond the biblical level floods, a much deeper crisis is starting to unfold. The moon doesn't just pull on our water, it pulls on the whole planet, acting as a critical stabilizer. Without the moon's steadying hand, Earth's rotation would start to get wobbly. It's a domino effect, really. First, the moon vanishes. Then that gravitational balance we depend on is lost. That causes our planet's axis to start tilting all over the place, which in turn throws our entire global climate into absolute, total chaos. I mean, the contrast is just stark. We live on a stabilized Earth. We have a steady, 23.5-degree tilt that gives us the predictable seasons we all rely on. You take away the moon and all of that stability is gone. Our planet would start to wobble on its axis, like a dying spinning top. So what does a wobbling axis actually mean for us down on the surface? Well, it can mean that Antarctica briefly becomes a tropical jungle while the Amazon freezes solid. It means we'd see the rise of violent, planet-sized superstorms and weather patterns so extreme and unpredictable that they would just shatter all of our current models. So if we put it all together, what does our planet look like now? It has a world that has been torn apart by enormous floods and is now being tormented by a climate that has been completely and utterly broken. So, let's go back to that view from space one last time. As the camera slowly zooms in, you'd see a world that has been transformed. It would be a planet of dramatic, violent beauty, with these massive storms constantly churning in the atmosphere, and a surface that's been forever changed by that initial tidal disaster. And here's the most important takeaway from all this. The moon is so much more than just a light in the sky. It is our planet's gravitational anchor. That stability is what made everything possible: predictable seasons, stable climates, and ultimately, life as we know it. Without it, our world is fundamentally redefined. And this whole scenario leaves us with one last, pretty profound thought. The first disasters, the floods, the storms, they're just the beginning. The real question is, in a world that's been remade by such fundamental chaos, what could possibly happen next? What would survival even look like?